Turner Talk number 43, Parents in the Stands. All right, time for Turner Talk number 43. So this is a pretty big topic, okay? Parents in the stands. This was a big focal point for us last freestyle season. Really enforced this with our parents and got some really positive results from it. Not a lot of pushback either. Not necessarily surprising considering our group and our culture, but at the same time, I could see that it could cause some pushback with some other coaches in some other cultures, or if you're trying to be or attempting to begin that in your culture. So I'm going to talk about some key points on why I believe parents should be in the stands. First point is building / strengthening relationships. And I'm talking about athlete and coach relationships. When the parents are on the floor and an athlete gets in trouble or certain things like that, like they're in distress on the mat or whatever, they want to look over to their parent because, that's what they've been used to all their life. And that's a great thing. But at the same time, if you really want to strengthen that athlete-coach relationship and bond, then the parent would be in the stands so that the kid or the athlete would look at the coach, right? And the coach is really the person that can help them there, right? And so it's crucial for the athlete and coach relationship for the parent to be away from the mat, the parent to be up in the stands away from the action, okay? It also helps, I believe, with the parent and athlete relationship because a parent, in a grand scheme of things, the parent would be in a position where they can just support, right? They can, obviously as a parent, you're always going to offer little tidbits of advice and things like that, but you really want to leave that a lot to the coach so that you can just be the parent and support. Because when you start stepping over that parent line into the coach realm, it really blurs things. And what I mean by this is because I've witnessed this a few times with, a few of my different buddies that coach their kids and things like that. And I'm not saying it can't be done. It obviously can. But the really hard part about that is, for instance, like whenever you get onto them, right? When you get onto them as their parent, you're not ever going to be a coach getting onto them. It's going to be mom or dad getting onto me. And it's a lot different than the coach getting onto me, because the coach can get onto me in a different way and we have a different relationship and a different level, right? When mom and dad get onto me, anytime that you say something negative or have that kind of tone, it's immediately going to feel like I'm in trouble, right? Whereas coach can get onto me and give me tone and a different thing, but I'm not necessarily in trouble, it's correction, right? So it's different, and it helps to foster that relationship if the parent is up in the stands. So that's point number one. Point number two, parents should be in the stands because it's safer and more productive for everybody, okay? When the parents are up in the stands and away from the mat, it's obviously going to be safer because, especially in a sport like wrestling, it's very physical. Things get twisted. People get in precarious situations. It's the official's job to obviously step in and stop some of those things. But especially with like novice parents, I know there's videos floating around on the internet. Maybe we could tag that one where literally the mom runs out there and jumps on the kid. You're like, but if the parent was in the stands, that wouldn't have been able to happen. Would mom have been freaking out in the stands? Oh yeah. But it's going to take her a certain amount of time to get down there, get past, and hopefully not be able to get past security and things like that. And then maybe she's had some time to calm down and realize that their child is not necessarily in grave peril or anything like that. So it's going to be safer in that aspect. It's also safer because there's just less adults. And when we're talking about Little League too, there's just less adults down there that aren't necessarily officials or necessarily people that are going to help the tournament proceed, right? There's a bunch of people standing down there in the way, one, but it also, makes it harder for security wise when you're looking at like background checks and things like that. And that's what's so great about the organization that, we wrestle for, which is OK USA, because it requires background checks for people to be on the floor or anything like that. Like they have to go through the safe sport and all those things. And those are in place because there are weird people out there. And, we like to think wrestling is separate and it's on an island, but it's really not. There's weird people in wrestling too. So if you don't have a background check, it's not really safe for you to be around other people's kids because you wouldn't want people around your kids that aren't background checked. So that's just how it works. The coaches, officials, tournament volunteers, all those people have gone through the proper safe sport and background check. So they're technically safe to be around kids. It's also more productive in the aspect of everybody can see, right? And that leads me to the third point of that's the way it's designed for a reason, okay? When parents are up in the stands, they're in a better position to be able to actually see and watch their athlete. I know you think like if you get down there on the floor, you're closer, and maybe that's true, but at the same time, in the stands is the best place to relax and be able to watch and enjoy. And that's what you're there to do as a parent. Enjoy, okay? Cheer, be positive. Let the coach handle any kind of negativity that needs to happen, right? Any kind of negative reinforcement. Let the coach coach, right? And so when the parent is up in the stands, that process is a lot easier, okay? And I know a lot of parents want to say, well, my child needs to look for me for strength. Absolutely. I agree. Your child's going to look for you for strength, but at the same time, the child should be able to trust the coach enough to look for strength. And if you don't trust the coach enough to be there for your child in their desperate moments on the mat, then you need to find a different program. The coach is the person that can give your child the best advice at that point. That's what we're here for. That's what we train to do. Like I thought about the other day, obviously I coach, every day or whatever, and then coach extra club practices and stuff. But I also coach like 5 hours of extra training on the weekends, privates and stuff. And I just thought about like, that's what, 20 extra hours a month, right? And so, I mean, that's a lot of training. And that's a lot of extra practice for me on how to explain things quickly and effectively and succinctly. And you don't have that same training. I'm willing to guarantee my entire year's paycheck that you're not putting in as many hours to coaching as I am as the parent. So why would you, in this key situation in the match when we don't have very much time to communicate this, be interfering? It's not time for you to interfere. Okay, say, yeah, let's go, little Johnny. Like, let's go. You got this. Listen to coach. Come on, keep going. Obviously cheering is good, and you should be giving the athlete your energy and your strength from the stands. Okay, so, yep, that wraps it up. Turner Talk number 43, parents in the stands. So big shout out to MStamp Media for helping us to produce these. As always, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Like I said, this is a hot topic, so you probably got some parents hot under the collar just listening to it. So anyway, appreciate you guys and have a good one.